afternoon. The family of Nicola Bulley have hit out at wildly inaccurate speculation about her death on social media. This afternoon, an inquest concluded the mother of two drowned after accidentally falling into cold water. The 45-year-old vanished after dropping off her daughters at school and taking her usual dog walk along the River Wyre in Lancashire. Speaking after the inquest, her family addressed speculation on social media following her disappearance.
The help and support we have received over these past few months has meant more than words can say. From family and friends to complete strangers, across the country and the world, thank you. Nikki and Paul's girls have already taken great comfort in a deeply thoughtful gift sent to them in goodwill, and in time they will read the many cards which are filled with such kindness and love. Sadly, we feel the need to again raise and address the issue of social media. It's upsetting that we've continued to receive negative targeted messages and still widely inaccurate speculation being shared on numerous platforms. We encourage people to look at the facts, the evidence which is being heard during the inquest, and the conclusion reached by the coroner, to ignore any amateur views and opinions and be mindful of the impact words bring. We want to formally say thank you for the support and compassion showed by Lancashire Constabulary, His Majesty's Coroner, Dr. Aidley, his team, Sophie Cartwright KC of Dean's Court Chambers, and Terry Wilcox of Hudgell Solicitors. We now need to be allowed time to comprehend all of the events leading up to this day. We ask that you all respect our privacy and this time to let us rebuild and take time to heal. Thank you.
I want to start by saying that first and foremost, my thoughts today are with Nikki's family and loved ones. They have been through the most unimaginable ordeal over the last 6 months, and I can only hope that this inquest in some way will help by answering some of the questions that they had about what happened to Nikki on the January 27th, and will allow them to start the process of rebuilding their lives as best they can. I would like to for his careful consideration of the evidence presented at this inquest, as well as legal counsel and all of the witnesses for their participation. I hope that His Majesty's Coroner's clear and definitive findings will put an end to ill-informed speculation and conspiracy theories which have been so damaging to Nikki's family and the community of St Michael's. I would like to finish by bringing this back to Nikki. She was clearly a much-loved mum, partner, daughter, sister and friend, and I would once again like to express my deepest sympathy to all her loved ones. And I would ask that their privacy is respected at this time to allow them the time and space to rebuild and to heal. Thank you.
Well, Sky's Martin Brunt has the latest.
Well, the coroner decided after reviewing the evidence over 20 minutes or so after lunch that Nicola had died accidentally. And I think as the inquest went on over the past 2 days and we heard from nearly 24 witnesses, it was heading in that direction. And certainly before lunch, at the end of the witness evidence, the solicitor, the barrister for the family, urged the coroner to come to that conclusion. So I don't think there was much doubt, but of course the coroner has to consider all the possibilities, and he made it very clear and in some detail that he'd found no evidence of suicide, which of course was one of the potential reasons for Nicola's death. He said that he'd heard nothing to suggest that she had spoken about the possibility of suicide or even self-harm. He'd heard from a number of people who had seen Nicola on the morning she disappeared, people who saw her dropping off the kids at school and then going for her regular walk with her dog Willow alongside the riverbank. He heard from experts who talked about the effect of cold water shock, another expert who talked about the steep slope of the bank where Nicola, it was thought, went into the river. At the end of it, the coroner was happy to conclude an accident, but of course it remains a mystery because even the coroner had to admit that he can't be sure exactly what prompted Nicola to fall into the water. Her partner Paul Ansell had suggested that she was as normal as other people have said of her, juggling lots of things at once. She was listening to a conference call on her mobile phone, a conference call with work colleagues. She was walking the dog, so keeping an eye on her dog Willow as well. According to her partner, he believes she probably put the phone on the bench so she could continue to listen to it while she went over to the dog to fit back on the dog's harness. At which point, and that rather ties in with the timings, from witnesses and data from her Fitbit watch, all of that, timing on her mobile phone, all suggested that about 9:22 was the point she went into the water. But the coroner, having listened to the evidence from her partner, said he couldn't be sure that that was what had led her to fall into the water. Something else might have occurred, he said. So although the coroner absolutely convinced that this was an accident, there was no crime involved, it wasn't a suicide by Nicola, there was no planning of that, he said, but it remains a mystery. The exact reason why she fell into the water will probably never be known.
Martin Brunt there. In the US, the Justice Department watchdog has